Breaking news! A surprising change has just been made, and while it's not the topic some might expect, the impact could significantly shake up the locker room. What's really going on inside the Ravens' walls? Is this the first step toward a true turnaround, or a desperate attempt to stop the bleeding? But before we delve into all of this, be sure to like this if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages cheering for this team. And if you'd like, comment, "Go, Ravens," to let everyone know you're still rooting for the team, no matter what. Let's get right to it, because what happens next could define the rest of the season. The Baltimore Ravens have officially signed veteran defensive end Carl Lawson following a recent workout, and the message is loud and clear. This defense is in urgent need of help, and they're turning to a proven, albeit underrated, edge rusher to stabilize what's been a shaky pass rushing unit. Lawson, who recorded 5 sacks last season with the Dallas Cowboys, comes in not as a flashy name but as a player known for one thing: consistency. That's what this Ravens defense needs right now more than ever. A stabilizing presence. A veteran who's been through multiple systems, from the Bengals to the Jets to the Cowboys, and has managed to contribute reliably in every one. That level of adaptability is no accident. It's a mindset, and it's a work ethic. He's not a superstar. He's not going to give you 12 sacks overnight. But what Lawson brings to the table is a relentless motor, experience, and the kind of dependable play that makes a difference over the course of a season. And right now, that might be just what the Ravens need most. Let's not ignore the fact that Lawson was surprisingly still available this deep into the season. Why? That's been a head-scratcher, even for Cowboys insiders. Dallas reporter Vakami, who's covered the team extensively, was vocal about his respect for Lawson. He tweeted that no matter who Dallas traded for, he was still calling for Lawson to return. Fans responded in droves, echoing the same sentiment: "Why didn't we bring him back?" That level of fan appreciation is rare, especially for a player on the fringes of a roster. And Lawson himself responded, showing nothing but love for Dallas while also revealing a major confidence boost. He believes he's twice the player he was last year thanks to a healthy offseason. That's not just talk, that's a challenge to the rest of the league. The timing of this move isn't coincidental. The Ravens have struggled mightily to generate pressure, and the frustration is boiling over from fans, from analysts, and even internally. Defensive coordinator Zach Orr has taken heat for the lack of effective blitzing, the soft coverage looks, and the inability to create disruption in the backfield. The team's 2 leaders in sacks, Namdi and Tavius Robinson, are now on injured reserve. It's a mess, and while Lawson might not be the savior, he could be a very important piece of the solution. There's been talk that Zach Orr even reached out to former defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, now a head coach, for help. Whether that's true or just a rumor, it speaks volumes about the sense of urgency and the pressure this coaching staff is under. Fans are frustrated by the passive defensive schemes, especially on key downs, and it's led to a loss of identity for a team that once prided itself on aggressive, chaotic defense. And that's where Lawson fits in. He's not here to save the season alone, but he can be a tone setter. If you're the Ravens coaching staff, do you let him sit and ramp up on the practice squad? Or do you throw him in the fire immediately, even for a few snaps, against the Chicago Bears? Because let's face it, what's the worst that could happen? He blends in with a struggling pass rush? That's already happening. The upside is huge, and frankly, the Ravens can't afford to play it safe anymore. But it wasn't just Lawson making headlines this week. Another huge roster shift came with the team waiving tight end/fullback Zaire Mitchell-Payton. That move opened up a spot on the 53-man roster, and all signs point to one conclusion: Project Pat is back. Pat Ricard, the heart and soul of this offense's run game, is set to make his season debut, and it couldn't come at a better time. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken basically confirmed it, and with Ricard returning, the Ravens instantly get tougher, more physical, and more balanced. This is about more than blocking. Ricard has been a crucial piece of Baltimore's identity for years. He's a tight end, fullback, extra offensive lineman, and a locker room leader all in one, and his absence was glaring. The Ravens' struggles on the goal line? That's not just bad play calling, that's a Ricard-sized hole in the offense. And now that hole's being filled again. Let's get right back into it. Carl Lawson's arrival doesn't fix everything, far from it, but it does offer something this Ravens defense has been sorely lacking: depth with intent. Not just bodies to plug holes, but a guy who can step in, execute at a high level, and not need a month to get going. That's why there's such a strong push from some fans and voices in the Ravens community to skip the usual ramp-up period and get him on the field immediately. If you're John Harbaugh or Zach Orr, what exactly are you saving Lawson for? Another week of soft 3-man rushes? Another Sunday watching opposing quarterbacks sit back like they're on vacation in the pocket? At this stage in the season, hesitation is as dangerous as any injury. And let's be honest, this defense has been relying on duct tape for weeks. Whether it's the loss of Nnamdi, Tavius Robinson, or the ongoing experimentation at linebacker, the front seven has been in a constant state of reshuffling. But here's the key, Lawson's consistency might bring just enough steadiness to allow other parts of the defense to recalibrate. If he can simply command attention off the edge, no need for a breakout game, just force a few more double teams, collapse a pocket here and there that opens up lanes for Kyle Van Noy, for Roquan Smith, and even gives the corners a chance to get aggressive knowing the ball has to come out quicker. And it couldn't come at a more pivotal moment. The Ravens are at 1-5. Let that sink in. This isn't a slow start anymore. This is survival mode. Every game from here on is essentially a must-win. The Bears are up next, a team that's very beatable, but also dangerous if you let them hang around. With Lamar Jackson still dealing with limitations in practice, there's a real possibility this team could be without its leader once again. That means defense and the run game have to carry more weight, and that's where Project Pat becomes a game changer. Pat Ricard isn't just a luxury, he's a necessity. His blocking allows this offense to get creative in the run game, something that's been sorely missed. When Ricard is on the field, defenses have to honor the possibility of hard-nosed downhill running. That sets up play action. That gives quarterbacks more time. That's leverage you just can't fake. And the truth is, Ricard's return might say more about the state of the offensive line than anything else. When a fullback becomes a critical piece of your offensive line's success, you know something is fundamentally broken. Ravens fans have been screaming about the line all season, the missed assignments, the failure to protect Lamar, the inability to win short yardage battles. And now, you've got some of the same culprits still out there every week, while guys like Ben Cleveland ride the bench. What message does that send? This coaching staff is at a crossroads. Harbaugh's long leash is being tested, Todd Monken's offense has looked lost at times, and Zach Orr's defense has lacked the identity and swagger Ravens fans expect. Remember when this team blitzed like crazy? When opposing QBs dreaded coming to Baltimore because they knew they'd be under fire all game? That edge is gone. There are whispers that are sought help from Mike McDonald. Whether that's true or not, it raises a bigger issue. Has this coaching staff reached its limits? Are they out of answers? And if so, what does that mean for the rest of the season? One thing is certain. The team has brought in outside voices before, like Dean Pease, to consult. So if Zach Orr is doing the same, it might not be a bad thing. Pride can't get in the way of progress. On the flip side, there's a segment of the fan base ready to move on entirely. Tired of the same old issues. Tired of seeing players in the doghouse when the team desperately needs help at their positions. John Harbaugh's loyalty has long been praised, but now it's being questioned. When it starts hurting the product on the field, fans have every right to demand accountability. And here's the kicker. This roster is too talented to be 1-5. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Pat Ricard, Roquan Smith, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, Kyle Hamilton, and more. You don't go 1-5 with a roster like that unless something deeper is broken. Whether it's coaching, play calling, or leadership, something has to change, and soon. Lawson and Ricard are pieces, important ones, but they are not solutions on their own. If the Ravens are serious about making a run, if they want to be the first team to go from 1-5 to the Super Bowl like some fans still hope, then these next few weeks will be defining. We'll find out if this team still has fight left in them, or if it's already too late. But let's bring it to you now. Do you believe these roster changes will make a real difference? Or are the Ravens just rearranging chairs on a sinking ship? Let me know in the comments.